and Western Kentucky. Hell to bold Kentucky. East Kentucky.
Up in Kentucky, they make a whiskey they call a Kentucky.
What's up, y'all? It's Tatum.
I'm EJ.
And you're listening to Hustle and Holler, and we're back for another great episode with an awesome local band. EJ's going to introduce them.
Well, I guess he's a good friend of mine. I don't know. No, this is Yellow Banks. We're glad to have you guys. It's awesome to see what you guys have been doing lately, and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, and we'll get started.
Love you too, EJ. I promise. And that's not a push at all. I'm James. I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking at right now. I've never done this before, man. No, I'm James, and I play shitty acoustic guitar and do vocals for the Yellow Banks band.
I'll vouch for him on that.
I'm Scott Etheridge, and allegedly I play lead guitar and even more allegedly do vocals and harmony and stuff like that.
Matthew the Professor Smith, thanks guys. I play lead bass guitar for Yellow Banks and provide backing vocals and inspirational quotes.
Bean Boyer, and I'm lead clarinet.
He plays the skin flute.
Pretty well, so I've heard. But no.
Well, it's
okay. It's okay.
It's awesome to have you guys here. James, obviously, we've been friends for a long time. We've got a lot of love for you. It's cool to see what you guys have been doing. You guys have been at it for a while. Multiple different identities for the group and multiple different sounds, and we're glad to have you guys here. And what do you guys got going on right now?
Bad country music, man. The same that we always have going on. Shit, right now really is just focusing on putting shit out. We've got a couple of songs that we're going to do, release for an EP, cover songs. We've got about half of our album recorded, and we're working on getting the rest of that recorded, and we're going to start pushing it later this year. So, yeah, you know, the same small town band shit and like big shit coming soon, you know?
Yeah. Well, you guys have a different sort of, it's got to be different for you guys because you're not making grass music. And we live in a place where we're a hotbed for that. And, you know, obviously, if you've watched this before, you know what we push. And, you know. Sorry.
Pay attention.
Fuck you.
Blueprint number one.
For you guys, it's got to be different. You guys are all of you from here?
That's pretty much. Owensboro, Beaver Dam, Madisonville, Hardensburg, and then
Maceo.
Maceo.
Yeah. Our loved friend Tristan, who is not here, is from Maceo.
Cut out.
I'm dude. Say less. We're getting one. But no, what I was saying is it's got to be a little different for you guys making like honky tonk music. You know, in a place where the predominant music is bluegrass, especially with the new wave of bluegrass. We have all these young bands coming up and coming out, and we're pushing this new sound. But you guys have stuck true to your roots, and you make a really specific sound, and you really stick to it. So, like, how has that been trying to grow this act and grow this art that you guys are putting out? Because you were playing for a long time, even by yourself, trying to push up a specific sound that isn't necessarily like this region. So, what have been the hurdles you've had to jump over and, like, the shit you've had to deal with making country music in a town where grass rules?
Fucking getting in touch with a younger crowd, because we play an older style of music, and like, I mean, I would compare us to some of the old guys, and then like who's the other one I'm thinking of? Because like the Honky Tonk Wranglers, we're not quite that traditional, but we lean on that a lot, don't we? Don't we all?
Our producer fucks with the honky tonk.
Hashtag let's get a fucking show together with the Honky Tonk Wranglers.
Let's do it.
But again, like, we just push that sound, and there's, I think, it's
a great divide in generations.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of really hardcore country fans out there, but country music is kind of buried now. Like, the bluegrass has become prominent, and then the shit that they call country,
it's watered down for sure.
It's not. It watered down nothing. There's no fucking bourbon in it anymore.
He said it, not me.
I did say it. Fuck that shit. I don't care. So, you know,
I mean, I'm sure it has been frustrating, the sounds you guys make, because you guys are incredibly talented. You know, I've been watching you play music for years. You've kept me up till 4 a.m. playing your guitar on my couch because we're friends in real life for a long time. So I'm sure it's frustrating having to deal with that because it is watered down. It's become something different, especially like Nashville just got too rich to sing about being sad. Like they got too rich to sing the blues.
They got too rich to sing about being fucking broke.
Yeah, and
we wrote a song about that too, actually.
And I think you guys are at the forefront really of trying to keep that sound alive because it's kind of dead there. Like I'm from Nashville, I lived there a long time, and it doesn't really sound like that anymore. No. There's a lot of watered down country music on Broadway, and
it all sounds exactly the same.
And you'll have that with any genre of music, hip hop, anything. Because I mean, we both love hip hop music. We've set up many a nights talking about that. He used to rap. He's pretty good at it, honestly. But like, music becomes.
That part.
Don't cut that. He really can't rap.
We were almost a bro country band.
Yeah,
we almost were.
Almost.
And I mean, I can't. Like, James is a really good friend of mine, so we've had a lot of conversations about this off camera, and I've told him a million times to sell out and go make some money because he owes me some.
He once told me, and I quote, "If you can get paid to sing your ABCs, fucking do it and sell that shit out."
Why wouldn't you, man? I mean,
I'll never forget that.
Write it down. You owe me some money, so go get some. But
when do I owe you?
There's no telling. But
exactly.
But being at the forefront of what you guys are doing and like trying to almost rebuild that sound and like not necessarily repackage it, but you're trying to do it your own way and trying to get heard and seen. Like what have been the struggles? I know you said earlier connecting with a younger audience, but like what are the struggles of trying to do that? Like
well, if you keep everything in perspective, you know, you're talking about what are the obstacles about. Thank you.
Hold your own
that was
dick.
adorable.
Hold your own dick while you're taking.
I mean, he's propping me up every show. Why is this any different? But having a global audience. When we dropped Corner First and Lonely, half of our audience was in Sweden and Norway and Australia and places
fucking awesome
that you wouldn't expect that would be really embracing like traditional country music. And so part of the obstacle is getting all our listeners over here. Or we got a stateside draw, a stateside crowd.
Or make enough money to where we can go over there.
Right, sure. Yeah, or get those, warrants cleared. But,
I got mine cleared earlier.
Hey, Nectar Valley is the most arrested local band. They're in second place. It's Yellow Banks.
Yeah, I mean, I served my diversion out. I'm not supposed to even be able to look that up no more, but.
Thank goodness for statute of limitations.
There's not any in Kentucky. At least that's what my lawyer told me.
But so while we haven't played some of the places that we would like to play in Owensboro, last year we went from Panama City to Niagara Falls playing. So there's an audience for us. Sometimes we gotta travel to get there, but the reception that we get when we get there, when we were in Pennsylvania, people drove for an hour and a half or two to come see that show and bought us out of merch, and we signed autographs till everybody had enough of our shit. So this is what you get with such a diverse group of musicians too that are focused on creating that traditional country sound. There's all these influences in here. Like, Scott, where do you come from musically? I know where you live.
Musically, I mean, a lot of it comes from like heavy metal, hard rock, classic rock. That's what I grew up on.
I run into a lot of that talking to people about like making grass music or country music, is that's how it started, is like real heavy metal, because I grew up in the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
So like that's why I throw the house shows and do all this, is like we all kind of came from a similar environment.
Yeah, I was like the only kid in school who was wearing like Frank Zappa t-shirts, but like I was into like Iron Maiden, Rush was a big one, Pantera, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
to this day, Pantera,
and then those you kind of get burnt. Like AC/DC was the big band that I listened to all the time, and you just get burnt out on it, and then you end up seeking out other stuff. And I remember I got real into like the blues, like just blues music in general, Went through that for a while. Funk, had a really big funk phase when I found out about like Parliament, Funkadelic,
Bootsy Collins. And
yeah,
shit.
Bootsy Collins. The Bootzilla album got absolutely ran through sophomore year. I mean, it was on repeat.
I'll never forget the day my dad showed me Bootsy Collins, and I was like, "This is the baddest motherfucker."
That is
I've ever lived.
Bootsy Collins is the most rock star person to ever live. Like everyone, I'm not taking any credit away from Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy's obviously the godfather, but I'm talking about
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
this dude. You have never seen his eyes for as long as you live because he's got these giant star glasses that he wears everywhere. It's like a lucha wrestler with the mask. Like you never see him without it. And Bootsy is always dripped head to toe, rings on every finger. He's got a grill on. His hair has been braided the same way since 1978.
Coldest to ever do it, dude.
He's the coldest and hardest to ever do it. He is never not in character because that is him. Bootsy Collins, he's authentic about it. There is no imagery there. There's no persona or character. That's just him. That's the way he talks. That's the way he dresses. He's naturally that flamboyant.
And that's a real lost art with
Yeah.
everything that we do. Is like it became. I don't know. It's important to have characters like that.
And
it's important it
I
helps
think-
push the agenda. Like it's not, anyone can get up there with a guitar. There's a million guitar players in the world, million bass players in the world, but it's like you got to have something special to transcend all that shit that we're all trying to figure out.
And I think that, to loop it back around to what we were originally talking about with, we're really trying to chase that traditional kind of sound while also like we experiment with so many other things is because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody in this band is trying to be the best singer. They're not trying to be the best bassist, the best drummer, the best guitarist, best pedal steel player. They're trying to be the best fit they can for Yellowbanks. And
That's
at the end of
super
the day,
important.
what we're doing is not trying to chase any trend. It's not trying to chase any genre. It's not, we need to sound more like these guys, or we need to play more like this. It is, we are authentically us. So if it ends up being rocky when it's live, because whenever we're on stage with each other, we can't help but start getting more energy and start pushing it and get heavier. But that's not originally what we set out to do. But just it's a byproduct of how we are. That's just kind of our sound now. It's from
And,
now
and,
on,
a
that's
common
just us.
theme that we've always kind of heard from audiences and all that stuff from, like I say, from up north to down south is a breath of fresh air. Like, taking deal with all
dude,
the sound guys and all the audience and stuff. They just come up and said, everybody comes up here, does the same songs the same way, but there's no authenticity and it's soulless. But so coming in and being considered, called a fresh air, it's huge. It's
It's a compliment.
yeah, it's a huge
Well,
compliment.
and I'll say this is I've had me and James. I love this guy a lot. He's a great friend of mine. We've had a lot of conversations about shit.
have you had?
Right? Sleep together already.
All right, fuck him. But no, we've had a lot of conversations about just that and how important that is because it's like we've both been around a long time, and so like you watch a lot of the same shit. Like and that's okay, and not to take away from any of those people who are just trying to get on, but like we've sat around, me and him both together have watched a lot of the same shows from the same bands, and like what's different, what can whoever I am as a promoter or whatever try and like sell different things to people or like build up different things, and you guys to try and sound different. We've had a lot of conversations about that, and you guys really are like it really is a breath of fresh air because you're genre bending, and that's important because like I said, everyone gets tired of the same shit. Like I've been to 1,000 Grateful Dead cover shows. I don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah. It's awesome. I love the Dead, but like no one wants to hear that stuff anymore. How can we?
How many 20-minute versions of Shakedown Street do we need
Dude,
to listen
exactly,
to?
and like
And then somehow each cover band plays it slower than the last time.
But
I feel like it's
and we can sit here and complain about it, but how can we change it? And that's what
Yeah.
we're trying to figure out. Because and you guys do a great job of that. Your sound, you really are trying to combine and use different elements of music to try and make something different. And it is a breath of fresh air for sure. You're welcome, I guess.
A minute ago, you guys kind of mentioned and talked about, you've had from Niagara Falls down to Panama City, and that sometimes, like here locally, it can be difficult to tap into venues and stuff like that. And we've called that out plenty of times on the podcast so far. But for you guys, like, what is it like to face, I don't want to say like, it can be discouraging that, you know, you're not getting a level of hometown support that you expect. How do you guys face that going forward?
It was at first, but ultimately, when we're playing, you know, Alabama and I'm talking into the microphone. I hear it, but yeah, no, okay. So
We're professional here at the Hustle and Holler podcast.
You're over there mumbling, EJ.
Literally.
at first,
the loudest mumbler around.
At first, it was discouraging, but now we've been to Wisconsin, we've been to Alabama, we're going back to Alabama. There's talk about us going to, what was that other state? Minnesota.
Wisconsin.
Was it Wisconsin?
Yeah.
I thought it was Minnesota or some
He flunked
shit.
out of grade school. He doesn't know geography.
But like the expectations to be playing certain places around here.
I said Pennsylvania. I said Wisconsin. We've been to Pennsylvania.
Right.
Go to Wisconsin. That's where I messed up at.
You know, if we're not attractive to what fits in Owensboro, Kentucky right now, that's okay.
Right.
Because we're not going to compromise who we are or what we have
Exactly.
to say
Fucking say it twice.
to
dude.
fit. We're not going to compromise who we are or what we've got to say to fit in a local scene when we have a national and international audience. Now, would we love to come back here and play more Porch Fests and that big festival? What's the name of it? Romp. Absolutely.
What's
You
that
know,
other one? Is it? No, it's not the O Fest anymore, but Reed's Orchard. They're doing another one out there.
Sure. You know, we're totally not against being a part of this community down here. And what's amazing about Owensboro that kind of offsets some of what could be interpreted as rejection is that our music scene is so tight. I've been playing music for a large portion of my life, and what's going on in Owensboro right now, I don't think anybody's ever been closer to one another, supporting each other, lifting each other up. You guys are a huge part of that. We want to say thank you for that. Getting people in here where they have a platform to express what their passion is and how it fits, you know, in Western Kentucky music. And I mean, we've had good support from Dan Hall, DMT, Galactic Foghorn. Like, we can call all these guys friends.
Shout out to Josh.
Joshua O'Ryan, absolutely.
Yeah. So
One of my favorites,
Local
by the way.
legend.
I
I'll
want
say
to
it
go
every
on
time.
record and saying that. He's one of my favorites around.
None of us would be here without
No.
Josh.
Yeah.
I'll say it every time we talk about him.
And shout out to my main dude around here, Jarrett Davis.
Shout out to Jarrett Davis.
Absolute
Rising
monster.
Sun.
He still terrifies me every time that I see him. Whether he's playing or not, it's just like I know what he can do.
It's the overalls. It's the overalls that, you know.
Well, I want to piggyback off of what you said, and it's like we live in a place where like this is a small town and like a small region, and I know all of you, so I know we're all very proud of where we come from. At least I can only speak for myself, but I know I am, and it gets discouraging dealing with the bands I deal with and like the people I deal with to not have a bigger like environment to do this in. But like you said, we're all very close, and it's like we're all a phone call away, and we're all really trying to do this together. And it's like if you can, it's all something we're building together, and it's really cool now. And it comes from the fact that a lot of us didn't have a choice but to do this. Like we didn't have any other options, so we did it ourselves. And I think it's really important, especially with you guys, because you sound so different than everyone else, that we stick together, and we're really trying to do this together, and it's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, you can pretty much go to any local show and pick out 4 or 5 members of the audience that are in 4 or 5 different other bands.
Exactly.
Because all the musicians around here, they're showing up to everybody's shows, or you know, sometimes like, okay, I might be sick, Matt might be sick, one of us might be sick, and you just call somebody up and say, hey, can you fill in for us? Like, yeah, no problem. And that's just, you know, the tight knit community that we have here in Owensboro.
it's a real scene. It's an actual real music scene. And this kind of thing only comes around every so often. It's super special. Super special. If the right industry people saw, they'd come and mine the whole area out. And we'd have a Western Kentucky music boom that they would milk for the next 30 or 40 years.
Man, and to be honest, I think it's coming. I think with all the
Oh,
talent
yeah.
we have around here, it would be crazy for it not to, because you got people like you guys, the Ramblers, like it would
Shout
be-
out to the Lowland Ramblers too.
it would be crazy for them to not, because you've all put in the work. Like, you've all been at
Yeah.
it for years. Everyone has. I'm not a musician, but like, I've been around all these bands forever, and to watch it grow, it's really cool. And like, I think you guys are a really important piece of that, especially sounding so different, and especially like trying to do different things, because every time you guys play a show, it sounds different.
And that's just the thing, is it's definitely not Nashville. This is Kentucky. This is Kentucky music right here, and that's what resonates. You know, we've got people with authenticity from here. Tyler, Sturgill, you know. So not gonna be any Daisy Duke songs or Red Solo Cup songs. We're not doing that. You know, this is real stuff. This is legacy stuff.
There may be a song about a beat up Chevrolet though.
You have to have at least
It's
one truck
authentic,
song.
you know?
He drives a beat up Chevrolet.
Yeah, and it has 400,000 miles on it.
You know, you have to have the truck, being drunk. You have to say something about your mama and a train. That's every good country song.
Hold your mic closer. Okay. Go.
Yeah, you know, little
Or some little
there's some-
shotgun mics to put around the room.
You got some money for some mic stands?
I swear, right?
I'm broke. I need that $20 though.
Going from there, though, you know, it is really cool that there is this, you know, such a tight knit music scene, and you see it through a lot of the really cool projects that go on around town. I know, James, you've been a part of the Veterans Enlisted, and that's a super sick project. I used to work with Brian Basham, and familiar with Randy Lanham and everyone who's in on that project, and that's super cool. So, like, for you guys, obviously, there is some pride of being a part of that scene, and when you're going to different places, do you kind of like, do you tell them about what Owensboro's like? Does that make sense in the music scene, or compare it to what you see when you are visiting other states?
I mean, it really just depends on the venue, because there's been a couple times playing out of state, we have people come up like, "Where are you guys from?" And it was like, "Well, we're from Kentucky." It's like, that makes sense. Did you have that Kentucky sound?
Yeah.
And it took me forever to figure out what
they're
they meant by
talking about.
that. And I started listening back on some of the artists that have come out of Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky, like the Headhunters, Blackstone Cherry, and the bigger acts that are
Dude,
international.
I love Blackstone Cherry.
Who doesn't? Who
That's
doesn't?
been like one of my favorite bands for a long time. It's funny you brought them up, like, because they're not like a traditional rock. They sound
No.
so interesting compared to
Yeah.
other rock bands from that era.
And all of those guys are just super down to earth. I ran into Chris down there at Spillway in Bowling Green, sat and talked with him for a while,
Sick, love
gave him one of
Spillway.
our CDs. So, Chris, if you catch this, please tell me what you thought. But,
We have no news is usually good news, right?
yeah.
But like, as far as like being from Owensboro, kind of like I was saying, like it is a little bit different, and we're seeing the music scene grow a lot. What is it for you guys that you feel like maybe you've noticed like you have to make a transition? Like we were talking about, you know, getting that younger crowd out. What's something that you guys have kind of had to transition to that maybe like shocked you, or you thought you wouldn't have, just with how much the scene is growing here?
Oh Lord, we're gonna have to get on the TikTok. We gotta start making 15-second videos. By the time you guys see this, it will be a plethora of 15-second videos for you to go. Plethora means a lot. Yeah, come check us out on
EJ's audience.
on the TikTok. All right,
Get the fuck out.
it's more than a few. That's been a hard transition because culturally, Western Kentucky still uses Facebook massively.
100%,
you know?
massively.
And I mean, I got to be looking for a '93 Geo Prism on Marketplace at 11:49 every night for the rest of my life. So I'll always be on Facebook Marketplace.
Well, and I think another thing about where we live is that like we all didn't have much of a choice in the fact that we grew up here, and we all grew up in these towns and these surrounding areas, and like our way of life was our way of. We didn't really have much of a choice into fuck you, and the way we grew up, and so I think it kind of forced us to all be this tight knit and like figure this shit out on our own, and the way it's changing and the way we have to use social media to try and promote what we're doing. It's different now, because when we were all coming up, it wasn't like this. You know, you had to be good to get heard. You had to be worth the fuck to get people to hear you. And like now, any asshole with a phone can be famous in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, especially guys like yourselves who are immensely talented, but like not as recognized, like that's got to be frustrating. So, what do you think you can do to try and quell that? Like, what are your going forward? What do you think you can do to make Yellow Banks more seen?
We just got to make the shift because we don't utilize all the tools that we have. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram and TikTok, and only one of those has any presence.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
It's hard though. It's a full-time job.
Yes.
It's like difficult.
There's 50 million ideas that you have to come up with, and then you have to shoot them 20 different ways, and then maybe 2 of those 20 are worth putting out there, and then you got to edit those, and then the process of, like, for example, with the cover music, something we've not done yet is putting out any kind of cover music. And so having to say, okay, well, we have to have the copyrights taken care of with this before we can even try to start promoting it. And so and it's just the process of getting everything out. It's expensive and it's time consuming. And then on top of everything else, having the content or the lack of content has, I think, hurt us the most. Because there's not anywhere that we've gone that people haven't told us that we're one of the best bands they've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But they're like, who are you guys? Like, well, fucking follow us and you'll find out.
I give you shit all the time, but I mean, you guys are some of the most talented people that we're gonna ever come across. Like, it's hard to break that ceiling though. Like, I can't imagine, especially making honky tonk music, and like, it's hard to break through. What'd you say?
Said emphasis on the honky.
Write it down. But
We're putting the cunt back in country.
Take that back.
But it's got to be hard because all of you are immensely talented musicians, and like I've told James a bunch of times he can sing. I shouldn't have because he keeps doing it. But it's
They keep paying me for it.
We're
but
professionals. We're good, but we're broke.
but going forward, what are the next steps that you guys are going to take to try and make Yellow Banks something bigger than it is right now? Like, what are the albums, it's EPs, singles? What do you guys have coming?
Rehab. I think that's the next stage. And then,
Relatable.
The Dewey Cox method.
yeah, we released an album, Rehab. Then come up with a new album, and then Rehab.
Watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah. And a lot of sinks get pulled out and thrown on the ground.
with the Beatles.
Are you going to take the Morgan Wallen method and throw some shit off a roof?
There's a few things in that saga that I would like to avoid, if possible.
They're going to throw me off the roof. I'm going to be the one that gets thrown off the
I
roof.
think if
I'm
the-
the
if
smallest one. It's just
I think
bound
if
to
there's a
happen.
method, we're going to try to avoid that one.
What you guys can expect from us, by the time you see this, we're going to have 3 new songs out. Driving My Life Away, Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean are the 2 covers. And I've got to say, I'm super proud of how they came out. Like, we're taking the song to a new place while keeping that root of where it came from.
We're paying homage to those that came before us whilst also putting our own spin on it.
Sick.
Perfectly said. And Seed of Faith is the first single off our record. And that's a song that James wrote. There's a story associated with that song. And it's also our first music video. So, you guys, this is just the beginning. Big things are coming. As those cliche to say.
Big things.
Big
But,
that's the title of the next album.
We live in a world where singles are dropping. And you're only as good as your last single. So we got a bunch of them for you. And when they're all out, they'll make a record. If
And
you
none of them any good.
So
He's trying so hard to be professional.
He knew coming into this what he was getting himself into.
So you guys, we kind of talked earlier. 5 years. Yellow Banks has been 5 years. You guys have been together about 2.5. Talk to me like a little bit about that. Like what the creative process is like for you guys. Is it butting heads? Since you guys have been here, you've all had your individual personalities. So like, what is it like to work together and have made it 2.5 years as the group you are now?
I know 2 of the band members really well. They're impossible to work with. So you other 3, take the mic away from him. So I'll let the other 3 talk.
Mine with me.
Now we're in trouble.
Here comes that part. You know,
This is the James Elliott backup band right here.
We cover his backside.
okay, that's why it takes so many of you.
You look like you want to say something.
I was waiting to. Well, what exactly do you want me to start with? Because you kind of started, but you didn't really ask a specific question. You were just.
I mean, they did.
Well, then why don't y'all go ahead and answer them, buddy?
You got the microphone.
How is it working together?
What's it like to work together?
What's it like to work with James every single day? And
I don't work with James every day.
Thank goodness.
I think the right way to put it is like James started the band, and you know they've had the incarnations of it, and I'm like still friends with like Austin Manrique, you know, and I'm kind of his
shout out to Just
replacement.
Austin, yeah.
Just Austin, and so I was already a fan of what they were doing whenever I was playing with Zach Jennings at the time, and I mean we had a few shows where we shared the stage, so I was already familiar with the music. I knew what they were doing. I liked what they were doing, and whenever I came in, we made a pretty clear pact on it. Like, we don't really want, and James was actually the one who started it, saying like, I don't want this to be my band. I'm trying to start a band. I don't want it to be James Elliott. I want it to be Yellowbanks. So
for all the shit we give him, he is a very humble dude, and he really cares about all of you. Like
Yeah, he's the most humble guy you'll meet, and he'll tell you every time.
so I don't think there's a whole lot of.
That was almost so nice.
So I don't think there's a whole lot of butting heads in that department, because kind of everything that we've put a framework around on how we work together is communicating. And just like, this is what I'm thinking like a song needs. Let's try it then. Okay, what do we think now that we've added that part? Someone says it's almost there, but we might need to try this. And it's a collaborative experience on everything, on pretty much every facet of the business side of things, on the artistic side of things. Everything is very much all of us talking it out and deciding together, this is what we want to do. And I think that's, once again, everything we try to do is authentic. It's just a natural byproduct of us doing. When we get on stage, we don't have a set list. We just get up on stage and go, what do we start with?
That's fire. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have no set list, no nothing.
I'm not surprised, but like,
If there's ever a time where we have a super short set, we
Or
will
a really
have
important
set,
show.
Yeah, we will have a set list that we wrote out 20 minutes before we get on stage, just to keep
probably
us.
10, but
Yeah, probably.
And still, even doing that, we've tried that before. It doesn't work.
We've always gone off.
Yeah, we always go off of it because we start hearing things together in a way where I'll kind of like walk over to Bean and kind of get like, if he's going to be the guy that I need to like really start leading into something else, I'm going to go to him first. And I'm going to say, what do you think? And if he gives me a nod, then I'm going to go to Doc. What do you think? If he gives a nod, I go to James. He nods. That's the next song. And we will all do that throughout the entire time we're on stage and performing. And we come up with some really good time. A lot of times we stick the landing. Other times maybe not so well, and it's a little bit too
We're always
abrupt,
just
or
as surprised as the audience is.
Yeah. It's never a rehearsed thing, and that's
Right.
But we find a lot of excitement in that, kind of like flying by the seat of the pants. Like, we got one shot at this. We got to lock in now, and if we land it, it's great.
Right.
So
It's like your dad being just as surprised as you are when you open your presents on Christmas.
Yeah.
At least for everybody whose dad was there.
There's no songs about parental abandonment yet.
and so
But we're working on some.
Daddy wasn't there.
But so like a real big influence of mine is the band Ween.
Okay,
And
yeah.
the guitarist Dean Ween, there's a great video you can find on YouTube, and it's a series called Guitar Moves. And it's a guy who goes out and he interviews different famous guitarists, and it's basically it's like a sit down on like, why do you play the way you play? What makes you think blah blah blah? And Dean Ween has a thing in there where he's talking about his guitar teacher told him, miss big. Like, if you don't know if it's gonna work, make it the loudest note you possibly can, because if it works, it's gonna be awesome.
Right.
But if you miss, maybe it'll be cool how bad it is.
Right.
But and like that's my whole philosophy as soon as I hit stage is miss big. If I'm gonna go for it, go for it. Don't second guess yourself, because people are gonna hear that
Right.
way quicker. They're gonna hear the hesitation. They're gonna hear that something's not right there. That's not
You
flowing
take accountability
the right way.
for the note, or you accountability for what you play, and as long as you portray it as that's what you meant to do, then that's what you meant to do.
Yeah, it makes it fun when you approach it that way.
Right.
And it, like I said, that applies to even the set lists or the transitions. It's like miss big. Like we're gonna go for it, let's go for it and see how it goes.
I love it, and it really does show through the energy that you guys have in your shows. And when you're playing, I've been to plenty of Yellow Bank shows, and you guys set
never
yourself
seen you at
apart.
one.
Really? I have been. Trust me.
I think he was just fucking with you.
You broke the host, man.
Man, Bean really knows how to suck the life
Yes,
out of
bro.
a room.
Anyways, you guys really
talked
do
about this
have.
before we came in here.
You guys have a unique sound. You set yourselves apart from other people, not just locally, obviously, throughout the industry. You guys, like we've talked about, have been traveling a lot recently. And we just talked about butting heads. If there's been a time that you potentially have, has it been like when you've been on a road trip going somewhere? Do you guys ever get in little
Tell the story.
spouts?
Which one? Because basically, we all are very bullheaded. We're all very stubborn.
Oh, no shit.
But we all take and have the same goal that we're working towards.
Right.
Do you know the absolute wonders putting your headphones in and listening to the entire Master of Puppets album and closing your eyes while he drives, how much it just quells all the fear?
That and a couple Valium.
Yeah,
Because the worst part of every trip has been Matt's driving. I will go on record
Every
and
state
say
trooper
that.
agrees.
yeah.
See,
so
there's things you can get away with when you're driving a 25-year-old church van that you can't get away with in a normal passenger automobile. When someone
well,
goes
there
by
went our
you,
cover. Now everyone's gonna know what.
when you pass somebody at 105 in a church van, they're like, "What's wrong with my speedometer?" Like, there's no way, you know.
Jesus took the wheel. That's
Yes.
what happened.
So if you hear a bunch of rumble strips and it's scaring you, and you're like, I think we're going a lot faster than what the speed limit sign says we are, just close your eyes and listen to the entire.
At least you know you're going to
Master
hit
Puppets
something hard, and you don't have to worry about walking away from it.
You know, you have a few daytime seizures, and everybody freaks the fuck out. We're all still sitting here. You know, I'm not suggesting we shoot the Street Survivors album cover yet, but we're still sitting here.
All right, fellas. So before we get out of here, is there anything you want to talk about that you guys got coming up, or anything you guys are doing that'll change the narrative of what you guys got going on?
Well, that depends. When is this coming out again?
October.
October 1st.
So unprofessional. I'm just fucking with you. I love you.
We'll
I'm so
cut that
glad
out,
we got
don't
to do
worry.
this.
Oh, let's see. By the time this comes out, I mean, you know, cut it out if you have to. I don't care.
You're breaking continuity right now. It's all right.
Yeah. Shit. Like I said, we've
We're gonna
got
have to text the producer and remind him.
we've got the covers coming out. Like I said, we're gonna do an Eddie Rabbit cover. Oh yeah, they're
Yeah, they're already here.
They're out by the time this dropped.
It's Bill and Ted. We're in the future
yeah.
now.
So we've got the LP that just dropped. We're getting ready to start dropping our singles from the album. First one being Seed of Faith. All of the songs that you hear on there. All the songs you hear on there are true stories. Everything you hear about the 400,000 miles. It's well over now.
And somehow still going.
Yeah, and well, the transmission's slipping a little bit.
A little brake fluid in there, cure it right up.
We'll be right as rain. But yeah, so we've got the singles coming. We've got the rest of the album coming out whenever that time comes, and what else? Yeah,
I hope you guys have been enjoying the Seed of Faith music video. That was our first one. You can expect more music videos with our releases as they come along for our original work.
And increasingly deteriorating quality.
We're starting high. We're gonna end up with like a 1987 camcorder, collaboration. So.
And I will say this: I talked to you about this last year, James, for Willie Stock. I want to get you guys. You guys were at the first one. I want to get you back out there next year, and we're gonna do the Rage Against the Machine cover set together. Are you not down anymore?
I'm down. I don't care what he thinks.
We're gonna duet the Rage Against the Machine.
A whole
cover.
set?
We can get at least 3 done.
I'm just the drummer. I'm not allowed to have an opinion.
It's the red hair. It's not because you play the drums.
Oh, it's always the Irish.
Bulls on parade, killing in the name of take the power back.
Those are maybe Testify. We'll figure it out. We're gonna do it though.
I love it. And I mean, Willie Stock happening 2026.
Every episode, we're not gonna stop talking about it.
We're not going to stop talking about it at all.
Pull up.
And if anybody is tuned in and you guys have got some upcoming shows to stay up to date with your music as it releases, where can they follow along?
Follow on the Face Space, follow on the Tiki Talkies, follow on the Instagram, and then anywhere you're streaming music. Like I said, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora,
Apple Music,
Tidal, iTunes, all the shit that is out there now, and all
Ask
the
your
stuff that
local
you
record
haven't heard
store.
of.
We'll get a CD to them.
Yeah, we'll have hard copy CDs. We've got all kinds of fucking merch that everybody needs to buy because we are fucking broke. And we still have albums to record. God damn it!
And be sure to take good online, and you can pre-order our album. Hopefully, try to get it a couple weeks before the official digital release, so you'll get the physical copy before the digital release.
Or they never saw him again.
Yep.
And I'll say this again, like I said, James, you're one of my great friends in life. I love you, man, and I'm proud of you for what you guys got going on. I mean that. I've only had 7.5 beers. I would never be this nice otherwise. But
That's why I asked you earlier. Like he said, he loved me like 14 times. We're gonna count them.
Fuck you.
2 per beer, man.
But
That's good.
That's a pretty good ratio. I love you too. Dude.
I love you, man. But seriously, like we've come a long way, from like backyard boogie and like stuff like that, and just having ideas of trying to do shit, and like your mom and dad telling us to shut.
All the jars.
All the jars of moonshine,
Dude.
all the fucking bologna we ate.
Oh,
but
smoked bologna.
Yeah, 2 rolls of smoked bologna. That was the first thing gone.
He can smoke the hell out of a bologna, but I really do love you, and I really am proud of you, man. I really wanted to say that where everyone could see it because it's true. We've come a long way. We're doing a lot.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers,
Man, and thanks to all of you guys for joining us. It's really important for us to be able to do
Thank
something
you
like
for having
this.
us. I'm sorry that EJ didn't let you really talk a whole lot.
He
it is
does
his
that once he
podcast.
gets in
She'd
about
be
like 7
talking
beers.
all the time.
My name's first.
Her name is first.
My name's first.
And nothing would get done without you.
Period.
Nothing would get done
No,
without
but
Tatum.
seriously, like it's super important to us that you guys come on our podcast. This is just an idea that we had, and we're not musically inclined. So we were like, how can we do this and make it fun and
Don't
like
say anything smart, jackass.
and
I love how he looks at you, not at me.
and be able to just really like showcase like what you bring to the area and what you bring in the music industry throughout. So seriously, thank you guys so much for coming and joining us.
Yes, thank you for having us. It's been an honor. It really has.
It's another episode of Hustle and Holler. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Any
Make
final
sure
thoughts?
Yeah, boy!
Ooh, what he said. Make sure to give us a follow, Hustle and Holler on Facebook, River Trash Productions, Willie Stock, and as always, make sure you give Yellow Banks a follow too.
I want the last word. If you can't be good at it. We ain't always good, but we always good at it.
Or at least try.
East Kentucky.
Up in Kentucky, they make a whiskey they call a Kentucky Straight.